Hello everybody, welcome back. Chandra Zas, Zen Odyssey. Flight stress and anxiety is my topic this week. We are making the brave adventure to fly international from Spain back to California. We've had 6 flights and we are really intending to get on this flight next week. And so what happens for me is I get stressed. Flights have always been stressful for me. My primal brain is super good, has all of these well-worn thought patterns into all of the things that could go wrong. This is what our primal brain is really good at. Look for all the negatives, all the problems to help us survive. It's a survival mechanism. And my brain loves freaking out about flying. I worry about getting to the airport. I worry about car crashes and traffic because of car accidents that we might run into. I just am stressed getting to the airport. Then there's the stress about, did I pack everything correctly? And are we gonna catch the flight? And it's just ridiculous how much my brain loves to get stressed out about it. So I spend a lot of time managing my brain around stress because we have been flying an incredible amount the last few years. We have always perpetually had a flight booked. We have flown at least once every 2 months, most of the time transatlantics. I have like a serious amount of flying under my belt. And on top of that, the last couple of years, I have been flying with a baby and now a toddler. And that in itself is a whole nother feat. You think flying by yourself is exhausting? Try flying with a little human that needs a lot of attention and is incredibly stimulating. I think I feel a bit like a certified, bona fide super mom flying expert. I have like a good amount of practice, a good amount of mental management around knowing what I have to do and having it all figured out and planned. And now on top of that, I have COVID. We all have COVID. And so now the stakes are higher and keeping my toddler nearby and in her seat is even more important. And the risk factor, before I get worried about getting a cold or a sick, especially when I fly around the holidays, I always am a little bit more cautious about getting sick. And now getting sick is like even bigger stakes, right? So of course my primal brain is like, let's freak out about this. Let's stress, let's worry, let's try to figure everything out and really spend all this intense energy thinking of all the things that could go bad. And in the meantime, my cortisol levels are going up, my adrenaline levels are going up, which is the opposite of healthy. It damages it doesn't really damage my body, but it lowers my immune system functioning. It lowers my health. So it's kind of this counterproductive thing. So I am super on my mental management right now, and I am really talking to my brain and really talking myself down out of a lot of stress and anxiety and overwhelm and all of the lame emotions that just harm us and don't actually really help us. Okay, so on top of the mental management, which is the most important piece because stress comes from our mind. And so when we can manage our mind, we can literally lower our stress levels. This is the most important thing in my perspective of what I'm doing with my flight coming up. On top of that, I also want to share with you guys some health stuff that I do in preparation for flying in general, but this time it's a little extra. I always take garlic and oftentimes vitamin C. Sometimes I even take zinc to boost my immune system. This time we are specifically going to be taking vitamin D3 for a few days before and a few days after, just to help keep our immune system strong. We are going to really emphasize exercise and sleeping and eating well the week before we fly, really boosting our immune system and keeping it strong. Garlic is one of my favorite things, both as a food and as a supplement. And we, of course, are going to be wearing our masks. This is like important these days. And that's what we're going to do. We have split up our flights so that we're going to get as much sleep as possible. We're doing one night in Germany. And All of the rest of it is managing my mind. My man does not have a hard time with stress. He's very, very good at managing his mind. I'm the one that kind of like gets these explosions of ideas that cause a lot of stress. So I'm on like high security alert with my stress levels these days, having this extra opportunity to stress a whole bunch. And it's always a good opportunity, and I can do it. And by the time you guys see this video, we're gonna be well landed and survived, because this is my favorite thought for stressing out, because stress is just so not useful, even though our brains think it's useful. My go-to solid thought that I have is that I will figure it out as it comes up. I trust myself. I know that I have really good abilities, and there's no usefulness about trying to figure it out ahead of time. So I will figure it out as it comes up. I trust in myself. I don't need to stress and worry about it. I will figure it out. I hope you have a beautiful week, and I hope you're figuring out and trusting yourself to figure out whatever it is that you might be stressing out about. Let's lower those stress levels, everyone, everywhere, especially if you're flying, and especially because of COVID. Have a beautiful week. I'll see you soon. Bye.